Grizzlies added Desmond Bane. I mean, you say this like it's
Desmond Bane. Welcome to this week's episode of 5280 Real Talk. I'm Gavin Foonberg.
I'm Avi Cohn.
And I'm Alon Nagel.
We got some very interesting topics to talk about this week, so let's get right into it.
The trivia question for today's episode is, who has the most blocks in NBA history? Your options are Dikembe Mutombo, Hakeem Olajuwon, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Mark Eaton.
For our recent news this week, we got Logan Paul fighting Floyd Mayweather. I think Logan Paul is about to get absolutely clapped.
I completely agree.
Yeah. That's gonna be entertaining. Not
Yeah.
gonna lie.
Seemed
And maybe
beat up.
satisfying. Hopefully satisfying.
Hopefully satisfying. Shut him up.
First round knockout.
All right, we have the Knicks are getting hot. They're streaky on an 8-game win streak right now.
Go Knicks!
They gotta at least make
Yeah.
the second round of the playoffs. They're so good.
And unfortunately for the Hawks, Trae Young has a left ankle sprain. That's really rough for him.
And quite surprising, Dwayne Wade became a minority owner of the Jazz.
Why the Jazz?
Yeah, why the
Jazz?
That's
I mean, sometimes people
That's
compare
just
Donovan.
random.
Like, if anything, Miami,
yeah.
the Jazz, he must think that they're going to win this year,
Yeah.
like I do.
And lastly,
I like Dwayne Wade.
Alex Rodriguez, former Yankee, has bought the Minnesota Timberwolves. This is just bizarre to me.
I don't think he got all his winning in
Is
New
he a
York. He
baseball
doesn't.
player?
Yeah, he's a baseball.
He doesn't need to win anymore, so he's just gonna buy the worst team in the NBA right now.
Hey, Anthony
Smart. Buy
Edwards.
the Timberwolves. He must think that Anthony Edwards is going to be
Hey,
incredible.
All right, for my bold take this episode, I think that the Boston Celtics are going to the conference finals in the East. Right?
You're really hot on the Boston Celtics.
I am
aren't you?
on. I had them in my power rankings, and I'm telling you, they're going to the conference finals.
All right, Elon.
I completely agree with this take. Not completely,
I was
but
gonna like say that it's not
I don't-
absolutely blasphemous, but it's a little blasphemous.
I think that I had one of my bold takes, and that bold take was that the Nets or the Sixers would not be making it out of the East.
Yeah.
Yeah, otherwise you'd be contradicting yourself.
I think it's either the Celtics. I think the team that's going to beat them is either the Celtics or the Bucks. I was kind of high
The
on the Heat.
Celtics are
The Bucks.
no, but the Celtics are playing. Are the Celtics? Oh, you're talking about the Nets and the Sixers.
The Nets and Sixers.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I was so confused.
You'll get there.
I will get there someday.
So those two teams might face off in the first round, but I think that one of those teams is going to make it out of the East, and I think at least the Celtics will make the Eastern Conference Finals.
Okay, I don't 100% disagree because I think that it's gonna be between one of four teams: Philadelphia, the Nets, the Bucks, or the Celtics, and maybe Miami.
maybe
So,
if they step it up.
I mean, I think that Philadelphia's never really had success. The
Yeah.
Bucks have never really had success.
And-
And I mean, obviously the Nets haven't, but it's also a completely new
Yeah.
team. So I think that it could totally be, if it's possible, the
And-
Nets and the Celtics.
I would also say my reasoning was if the season ended today, the Celtics will be playing the Bucks in the first round. The Bucks, like in that Giannis team, they really haven't shown that they can do much damage in the playoffs.
Nothing.
At
But I
all.
think-
I
But
mean,
I
he's
think-
a two-time MVP who hasn't made,
yeah,
I
who
think
hasn't
the-
done anything,
I think the Bucks are in a good position though. They're not at the top,
and they're not under the pressure
Yeah.
at all.
They're sneaky.
they're under the radar kind of.
There's everyone's saying Sixers.
Nets.
Everyone's saying Nets.
I think the Sixers are kind of overrated. Obviously, they've been
Sure.
incredible this regular season, but the postseason's a completely different, aspect.
But
Yeah.
the game that stands out to me about that, and I agree with you about that, it was the game they played the Nets, and Durant and Harden didn't play, and Kyrie was, like, I think he was out, like, for the beginning or halfway through the fourth quarter, and the Sixers were up by, like, 20, and then the Nets came back, and the Sixers won, but they made it a close game, like, without any of their big three, and I just think that the Sixers should have closed that game out and blew the Nets out of the water.
All right. Well, for my bold take this week, I think that Chris Paul should be in the top 3 of the MVP
No,
voting.
absolutely.
MVP voting.
What?
I disagree.
Why do you disagree?
Okay. I think Chris Paul is an amazing player. He's extremely valuable, but my top 3 are clear right now, and I don't think it's gonna be switched up. Jokic, Embiid, Curry.
Oh, you actually agree with Curry on that.
I do. I don't think he's the MVP, but I think he's definitely top 3.
I think
Yeah.
that I for sure have Jokic in there, and probably Embiid, and I mean, obviously, I want Curry to win the MVP because I love Curry, and I think that he's going to do damage in the playoffs. But he hasn't done great the whole year. He's really only been great this
But
April.
why is Chris Paul?
So why
there?
is he the MVP? If
But
he's
why is Chris Paul?
Yeah.
there?
because he went from
Chris Paul?
he went to the Phoenix Suns, who
My
hasn't
bad.
made the playoffs since Sean Marion. Okay.
And Steve
And,
Nash.
and he's literally the only addition to their team that's relevant. Besides, like, Cameron Payne, of course.
Cameron Payne is a good backup. I don't know why you keep
Dancer.
clowning him.
Okay? And he's brought them to the second spot in the a very, very stacked West. That's an MVP player. That shows how valuable
But
he
he's
is.
not even the best player on
Yeah.
that team.
But he's the difference maker.
I agree.
And
But
he-
okay, but
But
are you
okay,
gonna tell
I'll put
me-
it to you this way: if Devin Booker, okay, let's say that Devin Booker went to, a decent team or a team with another All Star, he would not make nearly as an impact as Chris Paul.
I agree. I think Chris Paul is the reason they're there, but I don't think he's putting up the numbers to be
Yeah.
in a
Well, okay, well if
MVP talks. You can't put him in MVP talks.
I
he-
think
okay,
I mean, he should be in maybe like bottom tier MVP talks, but not.
like
Top.
serious.
No, because-
conversation.
Yeah,
no, because the thing is, if you were to take Russell Westbrook and put him on that team instead of Chris Paul, they're in a
there's-
completely different spot.
ooh.
It literally shows.
shows.
Okay, it's literally the same type of thing when you take Russell Westbrook and put him on the Wizards with Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, they're very
The
similar.
Suns have a much better supporting cast than the Wizards.
Yeah, Cameron Payne.
They have DeAndre.
Why do you think Cameron Payne is good?
No,
We're not
I'm
talking,
not talking
we're
about
talking DeAndre Ayton,
Ayton,
Michael
Mikal
Bridges.
Bridges,
And Denny Avdia isn't good.
Dario Saric. Didn't he have Diaz hurt?
Yeah, they do have a better supporting cast, I will say. But Chris Paul has he's also shown that he's done it with other teams. I saw this post on Instagram about.
But it's about this year.
I know, but I'm just trying to use other evidence to prove that
Okay.
he makes a big difference. I saw this post on Instagram where every team he goes to goes up like 25% in their win percentage.
I think Chris Paul's an extremely valuable player, but he's just not in the
Yeah.
MVP talks.
I think that, the definition of MVP
I'm
is...
just thinking that if it was earlier in his career,
and I don't think
I think that he would for sure be able to
I don't
talk.
I don't think like Jokic with the Nuggets without Jokic are missing playoffs terrible. The Curry or the Warriors without Curry, they're out of the conversation.
They
without
pretty
him.
much are out of the conversation.
Not really. They're ninth.
Mister
Except for me.
Mister, they're winning the.
Well, to the general public.
What do you mean?
To the general public, they're pretty much out of the
No, they're
conversation
not.
to win the
Not
championship.
really.
They're playing primetime games literally every single week.
Because it's Steph Curry.
Exactly.
Okay,
Well, yeah, obviously without him, but they aren't winning.
They are winning.
Not really. They're like the 10th.
Yeah,
they're like
they're
the ninth
ninth.
seed.
They're
Yeah.
fine.
they're only a game back of Memphis, though, which is not that bad. But my thing on Chris Paul, I agree with you completely that he is the difference maker for this team. But I think he's
And every other team he's been on.
I think he's a valuable player, but I think another component of like this prestigious award is numbers, and he doesn't have the numbers.
Yeah.
You're right.
You
he
need to
doesn't
have the
numbers,
numbers,
but he has the. But it's the most valuable player, and he has the value.
But there's players that are equally as valuable as
Yeah.
him with better numbers.
Stephen Curry.
You don't think Jokic,
yeah,
Curry,
Jokic,
or Embiid
Embiid.
are
Oh,
as
you no.
valuable as him?
I do think that Jokic and Embiid are, but I think Curry and Chris Paul are the 2, 3, and 4 in my
But
opinion.
Curry, okay, would you argue that Chris Paul is more valuable to this team than
No.
Curry?
This year, if you're talking win percentage, I mean no, because Steph Curry's the only good player on Golden State.
Exactly. So, and Curry's putting up much better numbers than Chris Paul, which is why
He's over, but they
Curry-
aren't winning at all.
Yeah,
I think if you put Chris,
that's why Curry's not the MVP, but Curry is still ahead.
Yeah.
I think it's debatable.
And it's not fair. Curry has a bad team around him. Like they can't.
It's not. It's not that bad.
You can't.
It's not that bad. I think they're
have
underrated.
Wiggins.
His supporting cast is underrated. Wiggins is good. He's good.
He's okay. I will give you that.
He's good.
Oubre can't play offense. Draymond
Yeah, he can't play offense, but he
and
can
neither
play
can Draymond.
defense.
Their offense.
Draymond
really-
has been playing good offensively lately.
He has gotten better.
He's gotten
putting up,
better,
like,
but
17
I would
games.
say good.
Not 17.
Good is a stretch.
Yeah.
Recently,
Maybe-
okay. I'll tell you exactly why he's a good offensive player. His numbers might not show it scoring wise, but he sets up. He is the perfect player to play with Curry because he knows that what he wants to do is get Curry wide open shot. He's sitting there up top waiting for Curry to come around the screen and hit Curry.
The Warriors team is so bad without Curry. So bad.
Yes,
so it's
but
not,
you could literally say
it's
that
not
about
fair
like
to
every
compare.
team.
No, you could not.
Okay, the Nuggets are bad without Jokic.
The Suns were not this.
The
bad.
Suns were they were worse than this.
They almost made the playoffs last year. They
without
were like
the
a
Suns.
game out
That was
from the
only
playoffs.
because they went off in the bubble.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but they have never been in playoff talks. They were not
We're
in
in
playoffs.
playoff talks.
They haven't
last
made
year.
the playoffs.
Yeah, they haven't. And I agree, Chris Paul is valuable, but he's not most valuable player.
All right, what's your bold take?
My bold take is that the Blazers will miss the playoffs altogether
Okay.
after the playing game.
So
They are set up for such a tough...
so you're aloof, to say the least.
I don't know what that means, so I'll take it as a compliment for me.
Your brain, your brain isn't working.
Yeah, aloof just means not there.
You're just gone.
I don't take it as
let's define
Okay,
it.
Elon, I think that the Blazers, am I correct to say that one of your points is that they've been losing a lot of games in close situations?
Kind of. I wasn't really going to bring that up. Maybe I would have. But not really.
Okay, I just feel that
In close situations, I think they're better. They have
They also
who
haven't
hits
had
every
Damian
shot.
Lillard in some games.
What?
When CJ McCollum missed the shot at
Yeah.
the buzzer,
Yeah.
Damian Lillard.
Wait,
was there.
do you think if they'll go to the play-in tournament and then lose in the play-in tournament?
Yes. I think that this is what's going to happen.
I think
I disagree.
I think that the Mavericks are going to overtake them. The Grizzlies are... I don't think Jaw's a good matchup for them. I don't think Dame is a great defender, and I think Jaw will be really good against them.
Okay,
And
let
then
me tell you why you're absolutely
wait,
crazy.
and then I think they'll go against Curry, and Curry will
But
disappoint.
I think that if you put the Blazers against the Grizzlies, Damian Lillard, if you talk about playoff basketball, he is one of those guys.
Also,
I know.
if I think the only situation this happens is if they wound up playing Golden State
Yeah.
in the playing game.
Guys.
But that's a stretch. That's literally one of like five
The
possibilities.
Blazers' record is such a decoy to how good their team. They're literally minus in points differential.
Okay,
They're
but
minus.
they also just got Nurkic back,
Okay,
who's very valuable.
I agree, but
They have
their record
the
is
best
much
backcourt in the league.
Oh,
Arguably. Top two.
You have to.
Who do you think is a better backcourt
I would have to
than them
think,
two?
but I don't know. Keep
Think.
going.
Think right now.
The Nets.
The Nets,
Okay,
the
then
Celtics,
yeah, top two.
maybe.
No.
I
The
don't
Suns?
know. The Suns.
They have a. I think they have a top two backcourt
Okay, either
in the
way,
league.
they're just not. I don't think they're very good. I think they are.
So you can think that, but they're not losing to Memphis
Why? Why?
Yeah.
because Memphis is. They're just.
And,
I don't think they're very good to say.
and
to be honest.
also, I think,
Jaw is their only good player. Their only consistently good player.
You
They have
haven't
like a
been
different
watching
guy
them.
come up. Yes, I have.
They
I just
haven't
watched
had-
them.
If Jaren Jackson comes back for the playoffs, that's such a huge
yeah,
addition for
that
them.
is huge. But
They've been
But
this
he's
good.
also been out for a
They've
while.
been this. Yeah, but they've been this good without Jaren Jackson. Jaren Jackson's not going to make them worse.
but I
Okay,
think,
but I don't think they're comparable to Damian
Yeah.
Lillard and CJ McCollum.
I think they are absolutely.
I think
comparable.
you mentioned
You're
this,
crazy.
like when Nurkic coming back. I think that's huge for the
And
Blazers.
think about it. The playing game is. I would not take the Grizzlies over them in a 7-game series, but it's one game. One game, anything could happen.
But that's like, I think anything can happen.
Yeah,
I
but when
think
you have the
it's-
clutchest player in
Yeah.
basketball on your team, I don't think that's going to happen.
It definitely could. I think if it.
you could say
if
that
it
about
goes-
anything though. Anything could happen.
Yeah,
Yes, and I think it will happen.
I disagree.
because
But it's a 1-game series.
Exactly.
Damian Lillard is, like you said, the clutchest player in the NBA.
John Morant has like zero experience.
Yeah, the Grizzlies. I think they will be good in a couple years.
Didn't
but
they
right,
play in the playing game last year?
The Grizzlies, they did.
Yeah.
But I just don't think. they
And
have
what happened there?
experience.
The Blazers won. When was that? When was that?
Last year.
Last year.
So, and
A whole year ago.
What has
What has changed?
either of their teams changed?
Players have gotten better.
they
The Grizzlies.
have an incredible shooting guard in Grayson Allen.
The Grizzlies added Desmond Bain. I mean, you say this like it's.
Desmond Bain.
Why is that so funny? He's a
Because he's not even the best Baines in the league.
what?
Aaron Baines is better.
His last name is not Baines.
Bane,
please.
Baines, same thing.
I'm just saying they've added some young players. I think they can beat them.
Young players that have
Exactly.
never even had any experience at all.
Yeah.
Desmond
That
Bain.
doesn't mean they won't win.
No, it doesn't. You're right. It doesn't mean, but it is against their odds.
Desmond Bain
And why am I not allowed to pick the underdog?
in the small
You
forward-
are allowed to.
Wait,
I'm not stopping
Elon,
you.
What?
Elon, in the
Do
small
what you want.
in their depth chart, at small forward, Desmond Bain is third behind Grayson Allen and Kyle Anderson.
Oh,
Real
Kyle-
impact
I will
player.
say, Kyle Anderson.
Desmond
is
Bain
my
gets
favorite
good
player.
minutes for them. You guys clearly haven't been watching the Grizzlies because you don't know who Desmond Bain is. I mean, you just thought his last name was Baines.
No, I knew it was Baines.
Uh-huh.
Or I knew it was Baines.
You're like, he's the second best Baines in the league.
I mean, like
He
he's
is.
averaging 9.5
Bain.
points per game. Like, okay, it's not horrible, but it's not like he's a huge impact player.
I don't think, but he helps the team.
Okay,
and I'm saying,
but who would you rather, Hero? Who would you rather have? CJ McCollum
Desmond.
or Desmond Bain?
did I ever say he was their second best
You're
player?
also forgetting about Carmelo Anthony. I'm being serious. I don't like him as a player, but
I'm forgetting about.
for having scoring off the bench, Carmelo Anthony can do that.
That's fair.
Okay,
Experience also.
they have Justice Winslow too. They added him this
That
year.
was a good addition.
They just have. They have a.
That
deep,
actually is a
But
good
there's a
addition,
reason why he's
too.
been bounced around. The
They
league.
have a deep team.
Yeah.
What? He's played for the Heat and who else?
the Memphis, and he played for one other team, I think.
No, it was just the Heat in Memphis.
Bounced
Okay, but
around
there's
the league.
but there's a reason why he's not a relevant name. He's not good compared to Portland.
I just think Portland has so much more depth.
Yeah.
I think
They also have who did they just get from Toronto again?
Norman Powell.
Yeah,
Norman
Norman
Powell,
Powell.
They
who's
just-
been having a great season.
They also got Derek Jones Jr. from Miami.
Yeah, they did trade Gary Trent.
Derek Jones Jr. You're telling me about Desmond Bain, but then you bring up Derek Jones Jr.
Yeah.
He's a dunker. That's all he is.
All right.
That's literally all he does.
I don't know, but okay. All right, now on to my standout for this episode, Brandon Nimmo. So Brandon Nimmo is leading off for the Mets. He is second in the MLB in average right now with batting 395. And before you say he does not hit a lot of home runs, I think he's actually at 0 for the season. He's a leadoff hitter.
Yeah,
His job is to get on base.
Let me
was not gonna
say
say
that
that.
I completely agree with you. I think he hit. I think he hit what, like 280
Yeah, 280.
280 last year,
Which is
fine.
fine.
Okay. But
It's
this
not
year he's
great.
hitting like what?
395.
395.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I think it's kind
So-
of hard to disagree with this
Yeah,
one.
there's nothing to disagree with
He's
there.
just
He's
a-
definitely a standout.
He's just a
Yes.
really helpful player to have on your team.
Dude, he is.
All right. Well, my standout's probably a little more controversial, but I mean, if you guys have been watching the Nuggets, he's been a great he's been a great fill-in for Jamal Murray.
Will Barton.
Will Barton. Will Barton has been not necessarily scoring the most points. He did have 28 2 games ago.
Yeah, he
But
did.
he's been scoring around 12 to 15 points a game since Jamal Murray's gone.
Yeah.
Well, if you factor 28, then he's scoring more a game. But other than that 28-point game, he's been scoring around 12 to 15 points a game, which is not the most. But he is the guy who is handling the ball in crunch time moments. Other than, obviously, Jokic, he's playing Jamal Murray's role. It's not Porter, because Porter's a knucklehead. He's an absolute space cadet sometimes. Okay? Where was I? Oh, Will Barton is... He's making great plays for the Nuggets. He's hitting clutch shots. He's driving to the rack. You know, he's definitely been the fill-in for Murray, and he's done a pretty good job at it. Because the Nuggets have been 4-0 without him.
I agree with you because I think coming into the season, I didn't really know where Will Barton really fit on this team.
Yeah, because he's like our ISO player,
Yeah.
and we don't really.
The Nuggets are not an ISO team, but I think he's found his role. I mean, obviously it came because of an injury, but I think he's filled it well, and the Nuggets needed someone to do it, and he's done it perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
I think standout is a little bit of a stretch. He's definitely been playing better than he was at the
You
beginning.
always
of the
complain how we gang up on you, but you're always disagreeing with us.
year. I don't. I'm not completely disagreeing. I'm just saying like he hasn't been putting up that great of numbers.
But I don't think this one is necessarily about the numbers.
No, I know. I said specifically, it's not necessarily about the numbers.
Yeah.
It's that he's the guy handling the ball, and he's doing a great job at it in late game
Yeah, I
situations.
think he's definitely doing well.
I mean, think about the Nuggets. We've had one win in double overtime where he scored 28 points.
that was a great game from him.
And the other one was in last second shot where he hit a clutch 3 and he had that and one.
Yeah.
And on the left side of the basket
What game was this?
against Portland.
Don't remember that.
He had that and one, which was a
I do remember
clutch
the end
shot
one,
for
but
us.
he missed the free throw on that one, but
Yeah, he missed
irrelevant. But I just don't know if he's that big of a standout. I think he's kind of on par with what he's been doing this season, but I think he's making a lot less mistakes.
Yeah, I agree. He's only averaging 1.7 turnovers per game, which I think for a guy who, in my opinion, right now is the third option on the Nuggets, is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
All right. Well,
My standout is Kevin Herter. Kevin Herter, he's been
love this guy.
playing.
I love him
your
so
favorite
much.
2K player.
He is. I love Kevin Herter.
Yeah, he is gonna have to fill in while Trae Young is out when his injury, and they have to stay in playoff position. I'm pretty sure they're going to because they're pretty high right now, but they could drop pretty fast.
Yeah.
And he's been playing well over the past in April, really. In April, he is averaging. Okay, he's shooting 49% from the field. He's averaging 14 points. He only had one bad game at the beginning of April, where he was on limited minutes. He only played 16 minutes and shot 0 for 4. But after that, he scored double digits in every game since the beginning of April.
Also-
And
Okay, so I agree that he's been playing great, but I don't necessarily see him as a standout. And here's why. He's been pretty much doing this the whole season. He's obviously picked it up a little bit, but he's pretty much been scoring with between 10 to 20 points a game.
he's increased his points per game by like 4 or so,
Yeah,
which
so
is
he's
pretty good.
increased a little bit, but he
That's a
That's a
decent
big
amount.
increase. And also, he's shooting well from the field.
And he's leading the team in steals.
And the
which is
past
good.
5 games especially, the lowest he scored is 15.
okay. Yeah, he increased his points per game from last month, but then the month before he was scoring 12 points per game, and then 11, and then 12.
Yeah.
So he's definitely increased, but he's not he's not like holy moly, who is this guy?
And neither is Will Barton.
But he's not making that much bigger of an impact.
I don't think Will Barton is making that much bigger.
He 100% is making a bigger impact.
Well, you don't think Kevin Herter is going to be making a bigger impact once Trae Young is gone?
Yeah, but Trae Young he hasn't played a game without Trae Young yet.
Yeah, but
So you can't say that that's a
he's a-
standout. Like that's a future thought.
what?
What do you mean what?
You don't
That's
think
a future thought.
You
of
don't think
yours.
it's fair to say someone who has scored over 15 in the last 5 games, who's widely known as a role player, pretty insignificant player?
I mean, with Cam Reddish not playing, I mean, okay, he's good. He's gotten better, but he's not like a complete standout
I think he is.
Why is he not a standout? I don't get it.
because he's been doing good most of the year.
Yeah, but he's increased drastically.
He's increased. That's the whole
Not
point of a standout.
drastically, from 12 points to 11 points.
So
to 10
now you're
points to
looking at the
14 points.
numbers, but you're not for Will Barton. His numbers.
Do you watch the Hawks play?
I do sometimes.
The same amount as I do, probably, right?
Yeah, and
It's
he
not
hits
like
big
you're
shots.
watching him and you're like, wow, he's gotten a lot better.
I've not watched that with Will Barton or even Brandon Nim. Like the
Oh,
last
come
series,
on. You're
but-
kidding.
What?
You literally texted me last night. Will Barton is incredible right now.
I never said that.
Yes, you did.
Well, that was the game that he had
That wa-
28.
That was the game that he had 28 after he had a buzzer beater 3 to tie the game.
And then he's been doing similar things. Not 28 points a game, but
Whoa, similar things.
not 28
Slow
points a
down there.
game, but he's been doing similar things.
Apparently
to where
12
he's hitting
points
clutch
per-
shots.
I agree.
He
I
had
think
two of the
he's-
clutchest shots for the Nuggets last night.
Yes, he did. And how do you know Kevin Herter didn't do that? They went to overtime. You don't think he had a single clutch shot?
No, he's garbage.
All right,
I think
Gavin.
he's a standout.
He's definitely a standout. I don't know how you could even argue this, to be honest. He's playing much better than he was the rest of the year. So, I think that he's a clear standout for me.
Yeah. And also, I think that, yes, he was good the whole year, but he's just gotten better, like, recently, and it's shown.
And is that not what a standout is? When you get better
No, I agree
throughout the
with
year.
Okay, fine. He's a standout. Not. he's good, but I don't think he's like holy. Whatever. We already went over this. It's not going anywhere.
You know, he's not a holy moly.
He's not a
kind of
holy moly
He's
player,
not.
therefore he's not a standout.
No. Recent.
Standout shouldn't be holy moly player. You're not going to get
Yeah,
players that
Stephen
go for
Curry-
Brandon Nimmo is a holy moly player.
Okay,
No,
but that was
he
an
Yes, he is.
Gavin, that was an
He's batting second best in the league.
Okay,
Yeah,
Gavin.
after, like, 15 games.
Gavin, listen.
That's still good.
Listen, Gavin. That's an increase from one year to another, which is like it's way easier to flip your completely after 1 year and then 1 month.
What did you just say?
What do you mean? What did I just say?
Flip your completely?
You can you can flip your statistics completely after a year.
It's
Flip your bat. Flip your hat.
You can-
What?
Gavin, Brennan Nimmo was not great last year. Why are you looking at me like
I'm
that?
just thinking.
Can you stop looking at me
Go,
like
speak.
that? All right, Brennan Nimmo, he completely changed his game after 1 year. Kevin Huerter's not going to just become Steph Curry after a month. That's
He will
not.
become Klay Thompson.
Yes.
Yeah, and I guess our definitions of standouts is a little different.
What is your definition of a standout?
Holy moly!
And Will Barton has been holy moly for you.
Bro, he has been holy moly for me since Jamal Murray's gone. He's clearly
Gavin.
been the guy to play better, hit clutch shots, carrying us.
Oh yeah, it's not Michael Porter Jr. or anything.
He had 70 points in the first quarter and then didn't score.
That's
again.
one game.
Yeah, he's been holy moly also, but he's been holy moly the whole year. Or that's all of
Oh,
after
let's
All-Star
not talk
break.
about Facu, who shot 4 for 5 last night. Maybe he's holy moly.
Yeah, well, he was just holy moly for that game.
Yeah, so was Will Barton against the Grizzlies.
No, but Will Barton was good that game, the game before that, and the last game.
He scored 6 points against the Heat. That's
he
holy
scored-
moly numbers.
I'm not
Bobby.
talking about the
holy
Heat.
moly numbers. He scored a whole 6 points against the Heat.
No, the Heat was 5 games ago. I'm talking about
That was 4 games ago, buddy.
That's pretty holy moly to me. No. No. I'll show you.
Oh, you'll show
I'll
me.
prove it to
he'll
you.
he'll shift the statistics.
I'm not gonna
in the game.
shift that. You could actually do that on a computer.
Gavin, he scored 12 against the Blazers, 28 against the. Oh my bad, he scored like 12 against the Rockets too, against the worst team in the NBA.
That's good.
That's pretty holy moly to
He
me.
didn't even play. He didn't play that much.
All right, according
Okay,
to
wait.
Gavin. All right, bottom line of standouts according to Gavin, scoring
6
I
points.
literally said that it's not about the scoring.
Scoring 12 points is holy moly, but scoring 17 isn't. Is that what holy moly is?
All right, well, let's just get to our top 5 plays for this week. All right, you guys are actually spacing out. Elon, I literally said that it's not about the points he scores.
For our top 5 plays of the week, at number 5, we have the Timberwolves and the Kings. Here, a devastating poster from Anthony Edwards. Inbound from the sideline, Edwards gets the ball, spin move, drives in, and Edwards absolutely posters DeLon Wright. As he walks down the court, he puts his hands out like, that's a foul. You cannot hold me, DeLon Wright. In the replay, as you see, Edwards gets the ball, a nice spin move there, and DeLon Wright is like, get me out of the way. I do not want to be here. And number 4, another Timberwolves Kings play. Right here, Naz Reid. Reid cuts. Oh, and guess who? It's DeLon Wright. Again, gets postered. Gets absolutely baptized. Like, retire right now. So, Naz Reid with another great dunk here for the Timberwolves. At number 3, going to baseball, we have the A's and the Twins. A fly ball hit, and Buxton with a diving catch. Byron Buxton saves a game-tying run and lays it all out on the field with that amazing catch for the Twins. At number 2, still in baseball, we have the Dodgers and the Padres. Padres here could win the game in the bottom of the 9th with 2 runners in scoring position. Fly ball. Oh my goodness, Mookie Betts. Mookie saves the game for the Dodgers, wins it, and Mookie, milk me! Mookie Betts laying it all out on the line, and the Dodgers have won the game against the Padres. And Mookie just banging his chest, so happy, just beat the Padres, a good team, and he's like, that's me, like, that's what I do. Number 1, we have the Warriors and the Celtics. Curry dribbles up. Curry knows he's taking this shot. Spin move. He steps back, pump fake, and a left-handed prayer. Look at Chef Curry, man! And that'll do it for our top 5 plays of the week.
Thank you, Avi, for the top 5 plays of the week. That'll do it for this week's episode of 5280 Real Talk. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube and follow our Instagram and TikTok at 5280 Real Talk. Thanks for watching.